So earlier this week, Elmo, you all know Elmo, right? Little red fuzzy monster. Yeah, that guy. So he posted to X. I thought about doing this in an Elmo voice, but I thought better of it.
I'm pretty sure Tabitha would murder you. And then you would be the same color as Elmo.
Yeah, fair enough.
So would I.
So he wrote, Elmo is just checking in. How is everyone doing? Or how is everybody doing? Answers were not spectacular. This one really spoke to me. Elmo, each day the abyss we stare into grows a unique horror. One that was previously unfathomable in nature. Our inevitable doom, which once accelerated in years or months, now accelerates in hours, even minutes. However, I did have a good grapefruit earlier. Thank you for asking. So, my question for you, how are you doing? Tabitha, let's start with you this week.
Ooh. If you had asked me any day but today, I would have been like, man, I'm fine, suffering along as we all are. However, for some reason today, I woke up on the wrong side of the bed, and I told Mitch at 9 a.m. that I was ready to flex my make somebody cry muscle. So I didn't do that yet. So beware.
Like how Not looks at me.
It's gotta be one of us.
It's gonna be a long night.
Really, the only answer I can give is what every Midwestern white person says. Living the dream. Lydia.
I mean, I can't really give an honest answer right now because, I don't know who listens to this, and I kind of need to keep my job at the moment. So instead, I'm going to go with, I don't know if you've seen the other Elmo that floats around Facebook that is not quite so nice as to ask about your day, but I'm just imagining him saying, if you're having a bad day, just remember somewhere out there there's a dumbass pushing a door that says pull. So.
And finally, Matt.
That the response that you read minus the grapefruit sounds pretty realistic.
Not a grapefruit friend? Not a...
Nope.
Thank you.
None of Matt's friends are grapefruits.
No.
Not a grapefruit friend in sight.
That was a mouthful. I don't know how you said that.
That was
even
impressive.
slowly.
What?
Grapefruit friend.
Grapefruit friend?
Although I guess we both just did. So maybe it's not.
I feel like that's a unintentional tongue twister, but we all just said it successfully. So
grapefruit friend. I can't say it.
You got too many fifths in there.
You're listening to The Geek Awakens with Mitch,
Matt,
Tabitha,
and Lydia.
So, lots to talk about tonight. Let's open up the pull list. What's on our pull list this week? And first book we're going to talk about tonight is Jill and the Killers. It's out now from Oni Press, written by Olivia Cuartero-Briggs with art by Roberta Ingranata. So Jill Estrada is finally returning to school after the unsolved disappearance of her mother. While she was gone, her friends have become obsessed with true crime podcasts, shows, you name it, including Box Killers, a subscription game that gives consumers a different unsolved crime each month that is tailored to the life of its players. In an effort to reconnect with her friends, Jill jumps in, but the crime they start to solve might be just a little too real. I really enjoyed the majority of this book. My biggest complaint was that there were times where, some of the main characters would use slang that very much was, hey, fellow kids. It was almost like they were trying too hard. outside of that, I love the premise of this story. I loved the humor. There is a part with, I will go ahead and say for right now, a fake foot that was phenomenal. Once we get to the to that punchline, but yeah, like I can tell from this first issue, this book is going to have a lot of heart. It's got humor, it's got action, it's got kind of like some suspense. Yeah, I really truly enjoyed this. Tabitha, what'd you think?
I also had the same issue with the dialogue of the characters. Like, I thought this was gonna, like, I read the synopsis, I looked at the cover art, and I was like, this is gonna be wonderful, this is gonna be 100% my jam. And then they started talking, and I thought I was having a stroke. I'm like, what? What does that mean? That word doesn't make sense there. And, like, the dialogue was very, like, very, very hip. Like the hip that I broke, realizing how old I was because I can't read this comic, but that's fine. I really, really enjoyed it. Like, I really liked the friendship and I liked the mystery, but I feel like the theme of a lot of the stuff that we're talking about this week is like, what? Like, how, like, these kids are like, we're so interested in true crime and we've like listened to all these true crime podcasts, but you don't recognize a fake quote unquote foot. Like, what? Like, it was just the oh my god, we're so dumb moments were just very annoying to me. So I would like to see where this goes, but I don't know that I'm willing to weed through the very strange dialogue to get anywhere.
Before I get to Matt, you did kind of remind me of something I just wanted to point out. Complete total non sequitur, but I don't typically read the synopsis before I read the comic. So I went into this because like Jill and the Killers sounds like a fantastic punk band.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I went into this thinking that it was about a band.
Josie and the Pussycats.
Yeah. So I was very wrong when I read this. Oops.
I got that vibe too, especially from like the cover art.
The
they
cover,
had going on.
exactly. Yes. Matt, what'd you think?
I hadn't really thought about that, but it's true. It gives off that vibe, and that's not the vibe for this book at all. I enjoyed a lot of this. I also had the issue with the slang. I felt like that week that you asked us to define Riz, and I had zero clue. I felt like there were multiple moments where I'm like, I'm going to screenshot this and send this to my 12-year-old and see if he can decipher this for me because I don't know what's being said.
Translation, please.
Right? Like the second half of this book I really enjoyed as they got into the mystery and kind of realized what was happening with said mystery. There were a few moments early on and almost up to the halfway point where it seemed a little confusing because you do kind of, as much as I don't usually have an issue with being dropped off in the middle of things, you are 100% dropped off, no idea what zero backstory is, and you get crumbs of this backstory. And it takes until close to halfway through before you kind of really figure out what this backstory is and what happened. I would have liked a little bit more of that as a lead-in. You don't have to give me everything, but you got to give me a little bit more than a crumb. Otherwise, I am still interested to see how this unfolds. Because I feel like we're getting into a Scooby-Doo Velma type situation where these kids are going to end up places that they shouldn't be when the cops should be involved. And how is that dichotomy going to unfold?
I'm really glad, like, listening to all you guys talk about this because I only got about 5 pages in before I had to be both a mom and a daughter at the same time. Even the first conversation with her dad, I had to read like 5 times because I was like, am I misreading something? I don't know what's going on. So I'm glad that it wasn't just me from the 5 pages I read.
How can you tell that we're all really old?
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah. The next book that we're going to talk about is Bruce Dickinson's The Mandrake Project. It's out now from Z2, written by Tony Lee, with art by Staz Johnson. Iron Maiden vocalist Bruce Dickinson has been planning the story behind the Mandrake Project for about a decade. This 12-issue quarterly comic accompanies his upcoming solo album of the same name. The Mandrake Project shows the multi-generational war between the forces of science and mysticism for the control of immortality. Matt, I want to start with you this time because on paper, this sounds like this would be your bag.
I had a similar issue with this one that I had with Jill and the Killers. The first few pages were confusing. I was lost. I wasn't sure where we were going with this. And then it completely changed direction. And honestly, when it changed direction, I was more excited to see where this story goes than I was with just the graveyard scene that we got at the beginning. I know that we had read that other Z2 comic where Bruce Dickinson did one of the stories in that Iron Maiden anthology. I will admit, his story in that anthology was one of the better ones. So I can see story and plot wise that this is going to be pretty intense, and pretty well thought out. So I'm ready to see how this multi-generational battle, if you will, works itself out.
Kind of like you, Matt. I was really lost for a good chunk of this. But I kind of liked being lost. I could tell that it was intentional. Like they wanted you to almost feel unsafe. My gripe with this book is really not so much with the book itself, but it's how they are planning on releasing it. It's a quarterly, so it's going to be 12 issues. Quarterly. They will also, I guess, have annual issues in addition to these 12. But it's going to span over 3 years. So there are times like with some comics that I have issues like month to month remembering what's going on.
I'm having flashback to Watchmen.
Oh my god.
Was it After Midnight?
I 100% forgot about that. Yeah, I wanted to forget about that. Thanks.
Sorry. I still haven't gone back to reread that because I read the first 3 issues and then forgot everything else that happened.
Yeah. But yeah, like at the end of the day with this book, like, yeah, my concern is that, yes, from issue 1 to issue 2, with it being 3 months later, am I going to remember what happened? Hopefully, the way they're, with the way that they're doing this, a potential workaround, if this is going, if this is supposed to be like multi-generational, hopefully each issue is maybe, for all intents and purposes, standalone.
Yeah.
That may be how they do that, but I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see for issue 2. But that said, after the end of issue 1, I am ready to read issue 2.
Yep.
Just gotta wait a few months. It's fine. So let's go ahead and go to trailer takedown.
Let's get ready for trailer takedown.
We've got 6 movies this week. The first matchup is Immaculate versus Roadhouse. Lydia, let's start with you this round.
So, I don't know. I feel like we're kind of getting overrun with these horror movies that are set in like this church setting. I feel like it's overdone at this point, and I don't really care. Roadhouse, I didn't have a clue what was going on. I figured it was just another action movie, and then I realized what it was, and then I got mad on behalf of my mother, which then made me mad. Because how are you going to remake a Patrick Swayze movie with Jake Gyllenhaal? Like, I'm mad. I'm probably not going to watch either one of these movies, though, so I'm just going to go 5 and 5, because I have nowhere else to put my points.
Tabitha.
Immaculate. Somewhere between the religious trauma and the jump scare, I will probably enjoy this as like a fun, like creepy crawly October movie. Roadhouse is the definition of a protein shake. And I don't understand how Jake Gyllenhaal's acting progressively gets worse as he ages. It's very confusing for me. I am way more likely to watch Immaculate. So I'm going to give it 9 points, and I will give Roadhouse 1 because there was a moment where it made me chuckle.
Y'all, Immaculate is not for me. Like, I'm going to be right out of the gate with that. I kind of agree with you, Lydia. Like, which I feel like every so often we kind of get this run of religious trauma horror.
Mhm.
And I guess...
Which I get, but...
Right. But it just it seems that 2023/2024 this is now this next peak of these types of movies. I mentioned when we were watching it, there was one point where there was like, I don't know, some like older nun or whatever. She kept saying the word suffering, and I expected her to say succotash afterwards, and she never did. But I was still ready for it. Roadhouse. This is gonna be kind of like Baywatch from a few years ago.
Oh.
It's gonna be dumb. It's gonna be a popcorn flick. But I enjoyed this trailer. I think it's gonna be a movie that you can kind of like shut your brain off for a few hours and be just fine. I'm kind of here for it. Yeah, so I'm going to give kind of opposite of Tabitha. I'm giving Roadhouse 9 points and 1 to Immaculate. Matt.
Great. I get to be the deciding vote.
Yep.
Awesome.
Do not go 5 and 5.
Oh, damn it. All right, fine. While, yes, I think we are in that, surge of religious trauma horror, this looks like it will be a good, fun October spooky movie. That moment in the trailer where she's walking through the courtyard and somebody propels himself out of a window and just splats into the courtyard. I don't want to chuckle at that, but that's like that, and you just want to know what's going on. Full admission here, I've never seen the original Roadhouse. I don't know that I've ever seen a Patrick Swayze movie, period.
Not even Dirty Dancing?
No.
Wow.
Really?
What part of Dirty Dancing looks like something that I would enjoy?
I mean, I've never seen it either.
So you can't.
But I just, for whatever reason, I expected you to. Like, I don't know.
So wait, for once in like the runtime of this show, I'm the only one in this room that's seen a movie?
Yes.
Yes.
Lydia has not put Baby in a corner.
Guys, I'm shocked.
Okay, regardless. I don't think that Jake Gyllenhaal is a good replacement for Patrick Swayze, regardless of not having seen the original. No one believes that he's going to win a fight with Conor McGregor.
Not in the slightest.
Conor McGregor should not be an actor. Sorry, I'm just listing things that are wrong with this trailer. I don't know. But at the same time, I do kind of side with Mitch that I think this might be that shut your brain off and kind of fun popcorn movie. So I'm going to give... I want to be ironic, but I'm not going to. I'm going to give 7 points to Immaculate and 3 to Roadhouse. I wanted to give 6 to Immaculate, but it felt like it deserved one more.
So with a score of 22-18, Immaculate moves on. Just as a quick aside, I kind of felt where you were going already. So like I, in my notes, moved Immaculate to like the next round, and then you started saying really good things about Roadhouse, and I was like, uh-oh, is he gonna throw me for a loop?
No.
The next matchup is the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare versus Monkey Man. I loved both of these trailers. Kind of like with Roadhouse, both of these movies are filled with action. Very, very different movies. Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare is based on a true story. It's a World War II story. Knowing that part, like, it kind of gave Inglourious Bastard vibes, but I watched about half of that movie and got bored with it. I don't think I'm going to get bored with this movie. Also, Henry Cavill, what that tongue do? I mean, he kept sticking it out. Like, what the hell? That goes up against Monkey Man. It stars and is directed by Dev Patel. Dev Patel is a phenomenal actor. I've loved pretty much everything I've seen him in. It's off of the trailer. I don't know too much about what is going on with this movie, but he's a fighter who sometimes wears a monkey mask. Matt, jump in here.
Okay. So I did read a little bit of background on this because the trailer doesn't give you a whole lot. In one of those Eastern cultures, the white monkey is seen as the protector of the society. So the mask and his persona is that protector. So that's why the mask comes into play. That's where he basically is, like, that's the role that he's playing in the film.
Gotcha. Thank you. I really wanted to go 5 and 5 because I really couldn't decide which movie I was more excited about after watching the trailer. However, I don't know if you guys noticed, but when we had, when we had it on the TV and there were other like similar videos or whatever, there was this other one that was calling Monkey Man Indian John Wick, and so it has to lose a point because of that. So I am giving Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare 6 points. Monkey Man gets 4. Lydia.
So I actually came across the trailer for Ungentlemanly Warfare the other day, and I actually sent it to Kevin, which doesn't happen very often because, my reputation with movies is not that great. I want to see this. It looks fun. It looks like a popcorn action flick, and I mean, Henry Cavill and Carrie Elwes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. I meant to bring him up. Like,
yes.
Yeah.
It was a treat to see him.
Yes. Like, but no, it just looks like a lot of fun. I want to see this movie. Monkey Man, I mean, it looks like another action flick. It didn't catch my attention. However, it did make me laugh when he tried to, run out the window and the window didn't give. So for that reason alone, because that made all of us laugh, Monkey Man gets 1, and then the Ungentlemanly Gentlemen get the rest of my 9 points.
Tabitha, you keep looking at me weird. Let's go with you next.
Are you my grandmother? It was a treat to see him. I'm so confused. So all the things Mitch liked about Ungentlemanly, really long title, are things that I did not like, including the only time Henry Cavill has ever managed to give me the ick with that tongue thing. Jesus Christ. That was like, I was like cringing, and I was like, oh God, he's going to shoot somebody. He's going to do the thing again. No, make that stop. No. You explaining kind of the lore behind Monkey Man makes it more interesting to me. Originally, I assumed that Ungentlemanly, long title, would be more my jam, but I think at the end of the day, I'm more likely to see Monkey Man just so I don't get the ick from Henry Cavill. So I'm going to go 7 points to Monkey Man and 4 points to Henry Cavill's tongue.
Matt.
Monkey Man looks like it's going to be a slightly different spin on just a standard kind of action revenge movie. Like, it looks like there's going to be some lighter moments where, yes, he runs into the window and it doesn't break. Like, you know, in all action movies it does. And he, you know, flies out the window and lands unharmed and keeps going, right? So there's going to be some of those moments, which I appreciate because so many of those, they're indestructible. In general, it just looks awesome. It looks fun. Like, there's great choreography. The fights look like they're going to be incredible. I have this weird thing for Guy Ritchie movies. Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. Layer Cake. Those are some of my favorite movies of all times. And knowing that Guy Ritchie is doing this Ungentlemanly Warfare just adds an extra point to that. I honestly don't even care that this is based on a true story. It looks fun. It looks action-filled. It looks kind of snarky. I don't care either way about Henry Cavill's tongue. But
When you woke up this morning, did you think that would be a sentence that you would say?
Nope. This morning or any morning ever. Nope. I am gonna go. This is a tough vote, but I'm gonna go 6 for Ungentlemanly Warfare and 4 for Monkey Man.
With a score of 24-16, the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare moves on. Third round, we have Tarot versus Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Tabitha, let's start with you this round.
Okay, I'm going to start with Tarot because I had seen the teaser of this, and the teaser trailer honestly made this look good. The full-length trailer, the tagline of this movie should be "Play stupid games, win stupid prizes." As far as the Ghostbusters movie, I haven't seen the last one. Usually I don't like watching movies with kids. It's like the main focus. It just doesn't entertain me. This one also looks like it is not going to entertain me. However, I will watch this one if only for those mini Stay Puft Marshmallow guys, because I would sell my soul for those things. I am very unlikely to watch Tarot. I am almost as unlikely to watch Ghostbusters, so I'm just going to go 6 and 4. 6 for Ghostbusters and 4 for Tarot.
Here's the thing. I did not like the trailer for Tarot. It was one of those horror movies that I am not here for. That said, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, while we got new images, it really didn't tell us any more of the story than we got from the last trailer. All this to say, I am basing my points off of something completely unrelated to either of those movies. I don't know if I told you guys this, but it's probably been about a year and a half now. Not Seth and I went to a concert, and beforehand, there was somebody giving out free tarot readings. And so we were like, sure. The tarot reader, when it was my turn, well, okay, first off, Not Seth went first. And she was doling out cards and was basically saying that Not Seth was going to have the best life ever. She flips up over her first card for me. Oh. Pretty sure that was a direct quote. And ladies, gentlemen, others, it did not get better. In fact, it was so bad. She was like, you know what? I am going to reshuffle and we're going to start over.
Oh my
Round
gosh.
2 was not any better. So, because of that, Tarot gets nothing. Lydia.
Well, I'm sorry that you had that traumatic experience. So I I am that weird person that watches a horror movie and laughs at things that I should probably not laugh at. I want to watch this movie just because it gave me things to laugh at while also giving me scares, and I feel justified in laughing at things. Ghostbusters, I honestly wish this had been the first trailer that they had released, because I remember watching the other one that they released a while back and having like nothing really good to say about it. This one actually kind of makes me want to go back and, actually watch the other ones because I've never seen any of them. But all in all, am I going to go watch however many Ghostbusters movies there are to catch up? Or am I just going to watch a horror movie that I'm going to laugh at? I'm going to watch a horror movie I'm going to laugh at. So I'm giving 7 to Tarot and 3 to Ghostbusters.
Matt.
So I had seen a headline about the Ghostbusters trailer that there was a villain or a cameo, if you will, from the original movies that reappeared in this trailer. I kind of expected all of the old Ghostbusters. I even expected Janine to answer the phone, which huge thumbs up for that. Love that. I did not expect the ghost in the library to show back up. That was fantastic. Not at all what I expected. I haven't seen the first one of this reboot. All the returning cast just makes me want to see both of these even more. I don't know. That's a childhood like part that pulls at my heartstrings. Like, I remember going to a sleepover and watching Ghostbusters 2. So like having these original Ghostbusters in just brings me back. Tarot, yeah, play stupid games, win stupid prizes is spot on. It does get huge points for the monsters or creatures or ghosts, whatever, matching the cards on the deck. That's a cool idea. I like that. 7 for Ghostbusters, 3 for Tarot.
Did anyone else realize that almost all of these trailers are either horror or action?
Yeah.
We have a type.
Yeah. With a score of 26 to 14, Ghostbusters moves on. So, in the finals, we have Immaculate versus the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare versus Ghostbusters. I am giving Immaculate nothing. Ungentlemanly Warfare gets 7 points. Ghostbusters gets 3. Matt.
God, I hate math. I'm going to give 2 points to Immaculate, 3 points to Ghostbusters, and 5 to Ungentlemanly Warfare.
Lydia.
I am mirroring you. Immaculate gets nothing. 3 for Ghostbusters, and 7 for the Ungentlemanly Gentleman.
And Tabitha.
I'm going to give 5 to Immaculate, 3 to Ghostbusters, and 2 to Ungentlemanly Warfare for both times Henry Cavill stuck out his tongue.
Y'all, why did we all give Ghostbusters 3 points?
That's a good question. I was just wondering how many times we talked about Henry Cavill's tongue in this episode.
Too many.
Not enough.
Says who?
Me, I literally just said it.
Thought I gave you the ick.
Yes.
Then why are we talking about it? I'm confused.
Okay, so changing the conversation. So coming in third place is Immaculate with 7 points. Ghostbusters gets 12 points, and the winner of this week's trailer takedown with 21 points is the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. All right, guys, let's go to gut reaction.
Gut reaction.
And we're going to start with Tabitha this week and talk about Argyle.
So we got targeted by this in like a multitude of ways. So I thought I would just talk about it this week. Argyle is a spy action comedy movie with a very large cast, including Henry Cavill, once again, Dua Lipa, Samuel Jackson, and Bryce Dallas Howard. It's produced and directed by Matt Vaughn. The film is based on book 4 of a series that the first book has not come out yet. I'm giving this a thumb sideways. I need to know more.
Matt.
Wait, book 4, but book 1 hasn't come out yet? That's a weird marketing ploy for the movie and the book. So I haven't watched this trailer, but thumbs down.
Lydia.
Yeah, I'm so confused. How can you base something off of a book that hasn't even had the first one come out yet? What are you talking about? Thumbs down.
We also don't know who the writer is because it's a ghostwriter.
What?
Yeah, you all think this is weird. I'm here for all of this. Thumbs up. I have seen the trailer. I am here. I'm loving this movie. So Millie Alcock has been cast as Supergirl for Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Millie is best known for her role in HBO's House of the Dragon, a spin-off of Game of Thrones. Supergirl will appear in at least one DCU project before Woman of Tomorrow, which is still without a director. I'm giving this a thumb sideways, only because it's interesting how that her movie does not have a director yet. But that said, if you're if you are casting somebody for a if you are casting somebody for a whole movie universe, then it does need to be more than the director. But still, thumb sideways. Tabitha.
Yeah, what Mitch said, thumb sideways.
Matt.
Yeah, I don't know that I really have anything to add, but yeah, if you're going to cast them for the whole universe, then the rest of it is essentially irrelevant. So, thumb sideways.
Lydia.
I have no idea who this chick is. Thumb sideways.
Matt, let's talk about Rogue Trooper.
So Duncan Jones, who's the director of the Warcraft movie, is doing an adaptation of a 2000 AD comic. 2000 AD did Judge Dredd, just as a background. Starring Haley Atwell, Jack Lowden, Sean Bean, and Anouar Barnard, who is from Dunkirk and Goldfinch. It's a genetically modified blue-skinned soldier. The filming is complete. They're using the Unreal 5 engine for graphics. A lot of people in this. I don't know. Thumb sideways until we see a trailer.
Lydia.
That's a lot, but my only question is, does Sean Bean die?
Yes, probably.
Probably. Thumb sideways.
You said that this features a blue-skinned character?
Yes.
So,
not Avatar.
I was about to say, that alone should just be worth a thumb sideways.
Especially for me.
Yeah.
Agreed. I have to know more. Thumb sideways. Tabitha.
Yeah, I agree. I need more information before I can make any judgments.
Lydia, let's talk about Gargoyles.
So there is a 30th anniversary edition of the Gargoyles comics that is on Kickstarter right now that is actually backed by Greg Weisman, who is one of the creators of Gargoyles. There are currently 2,850 backers, and there is currently pledged $457,372 of the $50,000 that was asked for. One of the lowest things that you can get is one of the 3 volumes of this thing that is $25. The most expensive is $1,500 for all 3 of the hardback copies with a chest. I don't care. It's Gargoyles. This is amazing. Take my non-existent $1,500.
I'm assuming that's a thumbs up.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Growing up, I was never nearly the Gargoyles fan that you are, but still, you're happy, I'm happy. Thumbs up. Tabitha.
Yeah, your enthusiasm for this alone makes me want to give it a thumbs up. So, thumbs up.
Matt.
The only thing that has me not doing a full thumbs up is the $1,500 price tag. Apart from that, everything else says thumbs up.
There are cheaper versions, though.
Okay.
Tabitha, let's talk about Barbie.
Margot Robbie showed a ton of up for a ton of press events for the Barbie movie wearing iconic Barbie attire. However, they had a ton more outfits planned that we didn't get to see. Lucky for us, Mattel and Rizzoli New York are publishing the Barbie World Tour show. That's going to show us the works that were put together by Robbie and her stylist Andrew Muckmull, but we didn't get to see them. The book releases March 19th and is up for pre-order now. I'm giving this a thumbs up. I think it's great that we're going to see more of those outfits.
Matt.
I'm also going to agree that the outfits and the costuming in the movie were very well done. So to see more of that, even in book form, I think this is a good thing. So thumbs up.
Lydia.
The more I see about this movie in general, the more I want to see it. And I've seen a lot of pictures of her outfits that she's done for the different things, and I want to see more. So yeah, thumbs up.
Yeah. I don't think that this is something that I will personally buy or anything like that. But that said, this is still a really cool idea. But yeah, so definitely thumbs up. So we're going to talk about some comics here for a little bit. So we talked a few episodes back about an interesting cover to X-Force number 48 by John Cassidy. You guys all remember what I'm talking about.
Yep.
So issues with this variant cover have hit eBay, with one copy selling for $27 and multiple others selling for $25. Fine. I'm giving this a thumb sideways. Just because this is the hot book at the moment because of how awful it is. The cover, I don't know about the book itself. Tabitha.
I mean, good job for those people who got it and can hustle it on eBay, I guess. I'm really worried about the guy who's selling it for $27, though, and not $25. So thumb sideways.
Matt.
27 is a very specific number. That's like when you're like, I'm going to arrive at 317-ish. What? 27 is just so obscure and random. You're right. It's the hot issue at the time. It's not going to hold that value. Thumbs down.
Lydia.
Good for that guy for being stand out from the crowd. I appreciate your efforts, sir. However, I'm still confused about this cover in general, so thumbs down.
Matt, I was going to try to be funny and say let's go to wherever the F hobbits live, but...
The Shire.
The Shire.
The Shire. Okay. Matt, let's go to the Shire. Honestly, I'm probably going to leave all that in.
So releasing on February 27th, current Amazon listing at $23 is an abridged version of The Hobbit in graphic novel form, with art by David Wenzel. It's 144 pages. It was originally published as 3 separate issues by Eclipse Comics. They're saying it's a carefully abridged version of the story. Questionable, but at the same time, I think this would be a fun thing to own, so I'm going to go thumbs up.
Lydia.
For a split second there, I thought you were going to say $144, and I was
Same.
really concerned. But overall, this sounds cool and sounds fun, and it's all condensed into one nice little gift wrap pile, so absolutely thumbs up.
Will not buy it, but if somebody else does and they loan it to me, I'll probably read it, and maybe this will be the thing that gets me into Lord of the Rings. Still, this is pretty cool. Thumbs up. Tabitha.
I'm concerned about what they removed because there's so few things that you can take out of The Hobbit. Thumb sideways. I'm concerned, but I also want it.
So, a doctored panel from a recent, I believe it's Titans, but I could be wrong, comic made the rounds over the weekend. The panel sees Superman, John Kent, and Nightwing. John says, quote, "So I'm bi. How about you?" And Nightwing responds, I guess I've only dated women, but I mean, look at me. Seriously, look at me. I'm gorgeous. I'm an absolute snack. I've got to be at least a little queer." Well, that's not what the original panel said at all. Former Nightwing writer Chuck Dickenson posted to X saying, quote, "Who wants this?" Dean Cain, of all people, reposted it and said, "No thanks." Many people replied to the now deleted post, and Chuck responded to a lot of them. The fact that we even have to question whether or not this is fake speaks volumes. Current Nightwing writer Tom Taylor weighed in. He said, this isn't the whole post, but he said, "Hey, Chuck, that's not the dialogue. Somebody's photoshopped it for the usual outrage nonsense. But I want to say thank you so much for all you and Scott McDaniel did for Nightwing. We've fortunately found a lot of success with Nightwing, critically and in sales, but none of this would have been possible without everything you and Scott McDaniel built. Thanks." Giving a thumbs down to basically everybody in this story. The Chuck Dixon, Dean Cain, sit down, shut up. The person who made this post, like, they even admitted like this was essentially fan fiction, and bro, like, that dialogue is awful, like just straight up. Thumbs up though to Tom Taylor. He did that with an absolute class. Tabitha.
I forgot Dean Cain was a person, and now you've reminded me, so I'm mad about that. I agree with you. Thumbs up for the response, but like a thumbs down for everyone else not understanding. Also, you're 100% right. Like, if you looked at this and were like, that's definitely the dialogue, you're stupid. Thumbs down.
Matt.
Yeah, I don't know that I really have anything to add. That thumbs up for his response, thumbs down to basically everything else about this.
Lydia.
So all I can think is that this sounds like the Nightwing and like Harley Quinn relationship from the Harley Quinn series.
Oh.
But yeah, thumbs down to everyone's reaction, and yeah, agree with you guys, basically.
A new Lower Decks graphic novel is coming out in October from IDW. Ryan North and Chris Finoglio attached to be the creative team. Warp Your Own Way will be a choose-your-own-adventure style book where Mariner's choices have some interesting results. North has some experience with these types of stories. He's also written To Be or Not to Be, as well as Romeo and or Juliet. Giving this a giant thumbs up. Love choose-your-own-adventures. Love Lower Decks. I'm here for this. I just wish it was earlier than October. Tabitha.
Yeah, those are two of my favorite things in one sentence, so giant thumbs up.
Matt.
The only reason I'm going to be giving this a thumb sideways is because I don't know that I'm going to be able to read a Lower Deck story without their voices. Like, that just is part of who they are. So, yeah, thumb sideways.
Lydia.
I really have no frame of reference for Lower Decks. I'm also not sure how a choose your own adventure book works. Like, a game makes sense, but a book confuses me, so thumb sideways.
Have you ever read a choose your own adventure book?
Apparently not.
What? Oh my god.
Like I said, I played games, but
We
the idea of a
defined
book
one.
confuses me.
I'll find you one
Okay.
that you'll like.
It will change your life.
Truly.
The shiftiest eyes.
Well, I was thinking about the ones that I thought Lydia would like.
Sticking with Star Trek, filming has begun for the Paramount Plus movie event Star Trek Section 31. The announcement came via social media with a picture of star Michelle Yeoh behind a clapperboard, as well as pictures of newly announced cast members, including Omari Hardwick, Casey Roll, and Sam Richardson. Section 31 sees Yeoh's Empress Georgiou, who came to the main Trek universe from the Mirror universe, joining Section 31, a secret division of Starfleet that protects the United Federation of Planets in a more of an ethically gray area. Giving this a giant thumbs up. I love the way that Michelle Yeoh plays this character. Empress Georgiou is evil, and she's a badass bitch, and I'm here for it. I am so ready for this movie. Tabitha.
Yeah, you're excited. I'm excited. Thumbs up.
Matt.
This just sounds like one more reason to go back and watch all of these and get into this newer iteration of Star Trek, so thumbs up.
Lydia.
I don't really have a frame of reference, but you're excited, so thumbs up.
All right, so Matt and Tabitha both had some weird AF stories this week. Tabitha did take the cake. She has more of the weird stories. So this is now starting our weird story portion of Gut Reaction. This is the least offensive of them. Tabitha, let's talk about Japan's Moonlander.
Oh, okay. I was like, I don't know which one you're going to have me talk about. So Japan successfully landed its smart lander, kind of. There was a small mishap, but it now righted itself. All is well. Either way, this lander was sent to the moon to explore rocks and rock formations, and they have found 6 new rocks that they have identified and named. They have named the rocks after dog breeds. We have Toy Poodle, Shiba Inu, Akita, Kai Ken, and Saint Bernard. First up to be analyzed is going to be Toy Poodle, and then after that is done, it is going to move on to the other rocks. Thumbs up. This is cute.
Matt.
I like that. That's a fun way to do that. So thumbs up.
Lydia.
I like rocks, and I like the moon, and I like dogs. So...
Toddler on the podcast.
Hey! I collect rocks. So what?
No, thumbs up. This is fantastic. I love this. Also, as an aside, you can go ahead and turn off that. Okay. Anyway. Also, as an aside, you may be hearing in the background some alarms. We are doing a new timing system with gut reaction, and
We're not doing very well.
we're not doing very well. And this is giving presidential debate vibes, where the poor moderator is calling for time, and the candidate keeps going. Tabitha, we're going to...
Unlike CNN, I will turn off your microphone.
Tabitha, we're going to stick with you and talk about fried toothpicks?
Okay, so there's a social media trend going around in South Korea where people are eating deep fried toothpicks. Please keep in mind that in South Korea, they are made of starch and not wood like they are here. But once you fry them, they end up looking like tiny little curly fries. However, the safety of the starch has not been verified as consumable. Apparently, one of the ingredients is sorbitol, which is harmless in small amounts, but if you eat a lot of it, you can have diarrhea, vomiting, and inflation. So the Korean Health Organization has been like, please stop frying toothpicks and eating them. Thumbs down. We need to quit with these weird social media trends anyway for attention, but this one just kind of takes the starch. I don't know.
Matt.
At least they're not frying the wooden toothpicks. I'd probably try one of the starch toothpicks, but like 1 or 2. I wouldn't eat enough that I would have medical maladies. So, thumb sideways.
Medical maladies. I love that. Lydia.
I'm so glad that you clarified that they're starch and not wood, because I didn't know that there was a difference. Either way, thumbs down. Don't eat a toothpick.
I was on such a roller coaster of you guys are dumb oh, you're not, they're made of starch, it's fine, to they say that you can't eat it, to they look like curly fries, to why is everybody eating this? Thumbs down, y'all dumb. Matt, let's talk about some tasty hot dog controllers.
So, as if we can't get weirder controllers, this company called Hyperkin has announced partnerships with popular food brands to create food-themed controllers for the Nintendo Switch, including Oscar Mayer, Kool-Aid, Sriracha, Kraft Mac and Cheese, and Heinz Ketchup. They are translucent colored controller bodies with opaque faceplates, designed and inspired by the associated brands. Here's the catch. They're $40 a piece. They're kind of cool looking, but thumbs down.
Lydia.
So they're not edible.
Not in any way, shape, or form. And they don't have scents either.
Thank the gods. Either way, thumbs down.
I would have given this a thumbs up if they were scented.
Ew.
Still going thumbs sideways. $40 is more than I would spend, but somebody would, and that's fine. Tabitha.
Hot dogs and hand sweat. What a
Ew.
tasty smell that would be. Thumbs down either way, scented or un.
Like horseshoes and hand grenades. That might be tonight's episode. Tabitha, you have our last story of the night. You can go ahead and put your timer away. I have nothing more. What?
My alarm is not going to go off in the morning after I've messed with this.
I can only describe this as a fish ATM.
Yeah, so a teenager in Utah is facing criminal charges after allegedly taping fish to various ATMs around Provo and also a cop car. So between August and October,
Holy mackerel.
there were about a dozen fish taping incidents. He was charged with 2 misdemeanor counts of property damage, mostly because it costs money to clean dead fish off things. How he got caught is by posting each fish to an Instagram account titled Fish Bandit 84.
Oh, so it wasn't by hook?
The profile has a tagline of live, laugh, tape fish on ATMs. And also promises that no fish were harmed in the process of the taping.
Pretty sure they can't breathe, so...
They were already dead when they were taped.
So, did you go to this ATM and try to get some gold fish?
Oh, Jesus.
Holy carp.
Oh my God. What a way to rebel, though, right? I mean, I know people in Utah are probably really bored, but, like, are you this bored?
Yes.
Apparently.
Yeah.
See, my question is, like, what kind of fish are we talking? Because some fish is expensive.
Either way, what a clown. Fish.
Why fish, of all things? Like...
And Utah is pretty landlocked. I mean...
Yeah, where'd he get the fish?
I mean, yeah, sure, there's lakes, sure, but, like, I don't know.
The thing is, though, like, if it is that landlocked, like, with some lakes, you actually have to haul the fish in the first place to, like, start the breeding ground for there to be fish in said pond and lake and all that, so... Like, how much effort was there in this fish taping?
And what kind of tape did he use? He used duct tape?
I'm counting that as a projectile shame, even though you held on to it.
Yes, he appears to have used duct tape to tape the fish.
That's quackers. I'm ending this podcast before Tabitha yells at me and hits me and kills me. Maybe we'll see you next week if I'm still alive.
The rest of us will see you. Mitch, maybe not.
Maybe. Bye.
Bye.
That's going to do it for this episode of The Geek Awakens. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, shoot us an email at thegeekawakenspodcast@gmail.com.
It would be a shame if you didn't follow us on Facebook and Instagram at The Geek Awakens Podcast or on Twitter at Geek Awakens.
Theme music created and produced by E. Cannon Beats.
Our logo was designed by Shay McCain.
Thanks for listening. We'll catch you next time. We're boldly gone.